All right, so we'll just go ahead and take a ride back this time in the Leaf, and I'll give you guys some more thoughts and opinions as I have them, and we kind of come across them. So we are driving in regenerative braking mode again, as well as eco mode. Just to give you an idea, the gasometer says that we have 52 miles range, and we are starting at 798 miles. So then we can do the math, see how accurate it was driving home, if it guessed correctly. For the most part, usually if I get a full charge all the way up to 100% overnight, then I can come in the car, and the highest I've ever started with is 94 miles range. Lowest, or I guess you would say lowest, would be starting with 78 miles range, and then I usually average about 84 miles range when I drive the car. Let me give you kind of my average energy economy. First I got the car, I was averaging 3.2 kilowatt hours efficiency. Now that I've been driving for, I guess it's been 3 weeks with the Leaf, I have raised that up to 3.5. So definitely, as I'm figuring out how regenerative braking works, using that to my advantage, coasting, not accelerating off a dead start as quickly as I used to in my old truck, I've gotten a lot more proficient. One thing I definitely have started to take advantage more is the power of coasting. I'm sure the people that drive behind me probably hate me, but if I'm a tenth of a mile away from a stoplight and it just turned red, I'm just gonna coast all the way in and get some of the regenerative braking energy harnessed back into the vehicle. Looking at my CarWing stats on, I think it's called LeafLink, on Nissan's website, I usually regenerate about a third of the energy I use during a trip. So if I use 9 kilowatt hours, I usually regenerate about 2 or 3 kilowatt hours just using the regenerative braking. When I first started using it, was definitely not proficient in it at all. It was quite herky-jerky. But now that I've gotten the hang of it, know when to let off the brake, when to decelerate, it's become a lot smoother and a lot easier to use. Other things about the car, I went with the SL model just because I thought, oh, it would be so beneficial to have CarWings. To be honest, unless something drastic changes, CarWings kind of sucks. And I know it sounds like a big first world problem, but the car only communicates with Nissan on like a 2G cell network, and the app is not very good at, the app makes you wait for the car's response. So most apps would have it where if you tell the car to turn on the air conditioning or set the timer for the air conditioning, it would upload that information to Nissan's server, and Nissan would say complete, even if it hadn't sent the information back down to the car yet. With the CarWings app, that's not the case at all. If you tell the car on CarWings to turn on, it will say, I think it says like process pending or something to that effect, and you sit there and you wait for the car to respond back. It works like they say it does. I mean, if you tell the car timer to turn on at, right now it's 4, if you say for the air conditioning or the heater to turn on at 4:05, it will turn on at 4:05 like they say it will, but the app sucks. And I think they could do a lot more to improve that. And I know it's not just the app, I know it's them. Their website is the exact same way. So if you try to program something off Nissan's website to tell the car to do, it's the same sluggish wait and wait and wait for the app to work. With that being said, CarWings is not a deal breaker if you find a Leaf for a good deal that doesn't have car wings, it's really not necessary. Especially since I haven't done a whole bunch of research, but I know after 3 years you do have to pay the subscription cost for car wings. Haven't looked into how much that subscription cost is, but unless it's under, God, $25 a year, maybe $50 a year, it just is not worth paying for. One other kind of gripe about the car, and I know it's strictly done for aerodynamic reasons, but the way the back of the car is designed, kind of the tail end, if you have grimy roads, whether it be from water, and I feel for the people that live up in snowy areas, I can only imagine the back of the car gets very dirty very quick, just kind of how the water spills up and over the vehicle. Other things, people want to know, how does it respond if you need to pass a car, if you need to, you're going highway speeds. Right now we're cruising at 73 miles an hour, and it has no problem doing that at all. We're using 4 of the energy bars, and if we needed to get around another car or what have you, it could easily pick that up. As far as the GPS system goes, it's built solid. It's kind of like any other car GPS system though. Your phone is always going to be better, whether it's you're using Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, any sort of program like that. It's always going to be better than your car GPS, just because the map's constantly being updated. I'm trying to think of what else is kind of relevant to pass on. The Bluetooth system works great, XM works great, no complaints there. One really nice feature that I think is kind of underrated is the heated seats for everybody. It gets toasty quite quick, and especially the people in the back, if you don't want to use your heater to conserve energy, save on that decimeter range, it makes sense for all your passengers to have those heated seats. And the back ones are just as good as the front ones. The heated steering wheel, definitely don't pay extra for it, but if the model you are looking at has it, it's a nice additional feature. It's not necessary by any means, but it's a cool feature to have. Overall, one other tiny complaint that I've run into is with the nitrogen-filled tires, and living in Texas, which especially in the winter we kind of have an up and down weather schedule that's crazy all over the place. It could be 40 today, and tomorrow we could be in the high 80s. So that, using the nitrogen tires and then the tire sensor, it's kind of wompy. I would say at least 1 out of every 4 times I've gotten in the car, the tire sensor has been on, saying that there's some kind of tire pressure issue when there's not a tire pressure issue at all. I know that's not just a Leaf specific thing, but kind of more of a Nissan thing in general, talking to other people that drive, whether it be the Nissan, the Cube, or the Altima. Other people have made those comments as well. Other than that, no real complaints about the car at all from a driving standpoint, from a regret standpoint. Everybody usually ask, do you regret buying an electric car? No, I don't. It suits my needs just fine. I don't have any problems with it. Some people, it's not for them. If you have a long commute, if you have a long commute, come home and then don't have a level 2 charger, like I get that this car is not the answer for everybody, but I do think it's discounted by a lot of people when it shouldn't be. It could be their car, and they could do it. As far as gas goes, real quick, and we'll kind of wrap it up. I used to drive a truck. Toyota Tundra. I spent about $160 a month on gas. Using our electric rate down here in Texas, it works out to be about, you know, give or take, but about $1 a day. So that is a savings of about $120, $130 a month just in gas cost alone. So for me, it's a great deal. I don't have any issues with range, and then especially with all the charging networks in place, you know, you can get free charging at a lot of locations. So overall, I hope you guys found it kind of informative, some of the info on the Leaf. But that's all I got. I'll probably make another video in maybe another month or two with other little nuances that I've thought of, come up with. But other than that, that's all I got. So I'll see you guys in the next video.